as soon as you are not in the right window for the tires, and I think what's happened yesterday, it's a good example is that Q1 that we did P1, Q2 McLaren was 5/10 in front. It's just a matter to put the tires in the right window, and it's not an easy exercise, at least for us. I don't know for the other, but we are struggling. And it's true that from one session to the other one, you can have a different pictures, and it is like it is. Consistency will be key for the championship.
Fred, we've had now we're into our second race weekend. We've had a whole winter of people looking at pictures and talking about how iconic the thing is. But ultimately, it's about the racing. It's about what happens in this paddock on the track. You know that. Can you share a little bit of what Lewis has brought to the team from a racing perspective? I think I'd love to hear from the inside. You've now had 1.5 weekends of him. What's it been like inside?
It's not enough, 1.5. But I think it's more about details than something else that is not changing the life of the team. It's not changing our approach. We did a good season last year, and we have to build up from there. But it's true that it's time that you have the experience of someone, that each driver is different. He's coming with his background, with experience, and he's helping the team to move forward and to progress. But we have to stay calm. It's not because we did a good Saturday that we are world champion, and that we were not nowhere last week, and we are not champion today.
That's interesting. So how much of it is about Lewis influencing and moulding the team? How much is it about the team?
This is a no-name discussion that you can always have this kind of approach. It was true for Lando last week. Is it Lando or is it the car? Is it Piastri or is it the car? It's a combination. It's a combination not only in terms of speed, but in terms of approach, management of the weekend and so on. He's part of the group as Charles, and the fact that we have a good emulation between them is also helping the team, and it will be key for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, just want to say about the weekend.
You want to spend the afternoon with me? Or?
Oh, you can stay all day. You're always welcome.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You probably don't want to stay with us in fairness, but...
No, just one last point on...
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll let you go after this, and I'm sure you've got all the other broadcasters. Just going into the Grand Prix tomorrow, what have you learned out of this? Are we looking at a two-stop race with the surface?
No. I think so, but on this kind of weekend, and I think it's even more true this weekend with the new tarmac and so, that you do FP1, you do a long stint of 2 laps. We all knew that we'll have graining, but we didn't know if there was the track improvement, it will be true today or not. It was obvious today. That means that tomorrow it will be a long one, and it will be probably a 2-stop.
Fred, thank you for your time. All the best for the rest of the weekend.
Are you having vegan pasta for lunch?
Yeah. Ciao.
Hi, Pierre. It's good to see you. First time this year. Yeah, very good, very good. How are you, more importantly?
Yeah, it was quite an eventful sprint race for us. A lot of battles, a lot of overtakes. Obviously started quite far back after the traffic yesterday, so was a bit disappointed last night, but we knew we'll be able to come back through the field, and I think it was quite an eventful one.
So obviously yesterday you got caught out with the traffic, was unlucky there. Where do you think you can be with the pace of the car when we get to qualifying later today? Is it a Q3 car is the question?
I think it's going to be on the edge of that, so I do hope so. I want to make a few changes on the car to get there. I think from what I'm seeing this weekend, Arby's, seem to have a very strong package, and I had a bit of a fight with Agile, and some of the lines they're able to take like very strong front, and they seem strong. Aston seems to be in the fight, but hopefully we can get them in quality.
It's always very interesting to see how much you pick up of the strengths and weaknesses of other cars just by watching the lines on track. Just for us on the outside, what is the issue? What is causing the tyre management issues that you're seeing today? Is it graining or blistering? We've heard complaints of both. And how do you get through that in a race like today?
I wish I had all the answers. It will make my life a lot easier. But graining is the main thing, especially on this track. You got all these long corners, high speeds. Turn 1, turn 2. You put a lot of energy into these tires, so you just try to nurse them as best as you can, still being competitive, which is the magic and the what you got to do as a driver. So pretty difficult, but also setup wise, I'm sure we can do a few things to improve that.
And quick last one from me. How do you adjust the mindset now to go into qualifying and then focus on the race tomorrow? It's a busy weekend,
Forget
isn't it?
everything that we've done
just
so
happened.
far, and then just get in that spirit for quali. It's one lap pace, soft tires. I think we've done only a single lap so far this weekend. So just get one session at a time.
Do you enjoy sprint weekends?
Must say it was fun. It was good. I love racing, and 10:30 this morning we were in the car battling out with the other guys. So not always been a fan of it, but this weekend it's okay.
Well, we certainly enjoy it.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank
All
you.
the best for the rest of the day. Okay.
Lando, a tough one today, but was today's result caused by yesterday's qualifying?
Sorry?
If today's result was caused by yesterday's qualifying, what lessons have you learned for qualifying later?
I mean, it certainly didn't help. The further back you start, the harder it is. I just had a bad first lap. I just had to run into the grass a bit into turn 6 and then lost a couple of positions, and then it was just difficult to do a lot. Quali didn't help, but I wasn't very good today either. So
this afternoon?
I mean, it's another session. It's qualifying, so I'll be a bit more confident. At the race, in the minute of the race, I just feel dreadful. So a lot of work to do, but that's where it is.
You know, a wise man called Andrea, wearing orange in Australia, told me not to discount the Ferraris, and you were right. We've seen a pace today that Oscar got very close to, but did he spend too long in traffic behind Max?
Well, I think in fairness, so far, Ferrari and in particular Lewis, I think have proven to be very quick. They deserved the pole position yesterday, they deserve the victory today, so well done to them, and like we said in Australia, not a surprise. If anything, the surprise is the underperformance they had in Australia. Having said that, I think probably the pace of Ferrari today was superior to ours, even if having the lead in this kind of racing where you have to control your tires is a big advantage. So let's see, definitely qualifying will be important for the race. And I think good learning for us from this sprint. We saw that we definitely struggled with the front tires, in particular Lando, who had more traffic, and somehow the approach we took to try and go through the graining didn't seem to work. So I think good learning from Lando's point of view, and it's not a big surprise for me that is so leveled. Hopefully we will be able to find some performance and be more competitive in the race.
So simple then, bearing in mind what you're saying about the way to protect the tyres is to be on pole position. Simple task for Oscar and for Lando. I know two people can't be on pole position, but we'll try and get on pole position this afternoon.
Well, definitely that would be important. I think yesterday we saw that the pace of the car is competitive, at least over a single lap. It's not easy to put laps together, but it's not easy for everyone. So we do need to nail the setup, and we need to nail the execution from a driver's point of view. That's very clear, but I think we also have to look into what we need to improve for the long run pace, because if the situation is similar tomorrow, then I think we have seen that some competitors like Ferrari may seem to be able to deal with the front tires a bit better than us. So some work to do on both qualifying and race.
Thank you very much, Andrea. See you later.
To bide my time and wait for... Well, I was hoping that both of them would struggle towards the end. I think clearly Max started to struggle, but Lewis was, I think having some clean air out in front helped a lot. So, it definitely kind of influenced as much as I could do today, but I still think it's a really good result.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Moving forward is always a good thing, but tell me what you've learnt for the rest of this weekend in terms of how you can start higher up in qualifying this afternoon, and also what you can take into tomorrow's race.
I mean, honestly, just naturally, the importance of starting further up the grid. It's even if you're faster, it's still quite hard to overtake. Just graining the tyres, following other cars. You have to use more of the tyre than to do that. I think it's just. I mean, we all know qualifying is important, but obviously this really shows it.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Charles, I mean, it was a tough race out there. I know you tried to get that place off George at the end, but a Ferrari did win the race today. What can you take from this, the positives that you can take into the rest of this weekend, and what's available tomorrow?
I mean, the potential is there, clearly, because Lewis is using it. I am not, so I've got some work to do. Historically, I've always been struggling like crazy here. But that's not an excuse. Obviously, you've got to learn, and for now, it doesn't seem like I'm doing the right things in the car. So, but yeah, we've got this afternoon to try and turn the situation around still, and tomorrow is the main race. So I hope we can find something. I went in a slightly different configuration compared to Lewis, but I don't think there's much in that. We'll try and go towards his direction, and I'll try to improve driving for this afternoon.
Max, that actually looked like a great performance today. Were you surprised that you could hold the McLaren off for quite so long, and just how far ahead do you think the Ferrari is?
Yeah, I mean, I tried. I saw Lewis saving quite nicely up front. So it was not even about trying to get by, it was just trying to keep Oscar behind me, trying to get in Lewis's DRS, just to hang in there, basically. But yeah, we have too much deck, because I think our base is off. So then you try to hang in there, but you kill your tires also. Then, yeah, I didn't put up a fight against Oscar on that straight. I just let him by. But then actually, I think both of us started to struggle quite heavily. Now, I think I wouldn't have kept him behind anyway. But yeah, I think I also got lucky with the cars behind me. They started to fight a bit towards the end of the race. But yeah, general pace not that great, but still P3 is a decent result for us.
Thank you. As it's one, I'm just going to start with saying Sussurratore di Gomme is tyre whisperer in Italian. You might need that this season. Tyre whisperer in Italian. But my question would be, how good does it feel to have all that come together today? The team, the car, your driving, everything, especially after comments that were made after Australia.
Yeah, no, it feels honestly, it feels amazing. I think what's been important for me, and I think for everyone in the team, is just to not read the headlines, not read what's going on, do not be distracted by any of that stuff. Just continue to stay on course, do what we do, and just work hard to keep our heads down. And that's what everyone's just kept working, and we made some changes coming into this weekend. And also, I pushed the car in a little bit more in the direction that I know that I wanted it, and it's worked. And this is a good track for me, also. I do love it here. But to cross the line in red, start on pole in red, it's wow. It's something, it is different for sure.
Well done today, thank you.